All right, so thank you so much for joining us. And of course, it's that lovely time when you are with us right here on Ubuntu channel. But of course, this particular time, I am your host, Professor Lance, and this is Nsaka. Of course, you are welcome. Hi, Gladys, how you doing?
Thank you so much, Professor Lance. This is Gladys Mwashibukeni Chungolo Mkwai. Konso Komule Tumfuila in all corners of the world. This is Ubuntu channel. Welcome. Grab your popcorns. You are yet to enjoy what we are going to share together with us. Over to you.
Definitely. All right, definitely. So, of course, you can be a part of the program by simply sending us your comment on the comment box over the topic that we are discussing today. We would love to hear from you, and of course, we are as interactive as possible as we make sure that we engage you, our lovely viewer out there. Be part of the program, also invite your friends to invite their friends so that they invite their friends and their neighbors as also to be a part of this program simply by subscribing to our Ubuntu channel on YouTube and also liking our page on Facebook and on LinkedIn as well. You can be a part of us. So today we are discussing polygamy and would love to hear from a lot of you. What's your understanding about polygamy? Do you think it is a good practice or a bad practice? And can you be all right to be in a polygamous marriage? So, just a short introduction or a short definition of polygamy. This is an act of a man uh, getting to have more than two spouses. Gladys.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to let our viewers know that this Ubuntu channel, it's about us, Ubuntu, you and us. And please kindly feel free to use the language of your choice, Tonga, Nyanja, whatever. Ichitunduna nguni kui soko komule tumfuila. And kindly tell us where you are watching us from. Just write on the comment section that you are watching from Atikushani kulia kuchibolia, you are more than welcome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Coach Body, definitely. All right. So in Zambia, we have the Marriage Act, which talks about or which recognizes two types of marriage, of which one is statutory marriage, which is you get to go to the civic center and it gets recognized by the Commission of Oath and everybody there. Then we also have the customary marriage. Gladys, let's get to talk about the distinction between these two, customary and statutory. Which one allows polygamy?
Well, the Zambian law recognizes two kinds of marriages, like you say, that the customary marriage under the different customs that, from depending on which tribe you are coming from, that allows multiple marriages. And then we have the Marriage Act, where you marry from the civic center. I belong there. I don't know where you belong. So kindly tell us where you belong and share with us from the tribe where you come from, because I believe that polygamy is very wide topic. We here to teach each other. We don't know everything. Let's so come on board and let's share it. Over to you, Lance.
Definitely, let's share it. So, like Gladys has put it, in Zambia, under customary, you can get yourself involved in a polygamous marriage, depending on the tribe that you are coming from. And of course, with that, obviously, you have to get consent from your first wife and for her to agree if she can be part of that polygamous marriage. Now, recently there was Gladys, there was um, a suggestion made by one organization
I guess we've lost my colleague. Probably when he comes back, and we'll pick it up from where we left. And I would like to share the the local court customary law. It is also recognized that a man can have more than one wife. And apparently, it depends on from which tribe you are coming from. For example, if the Tongas out there, you can kindly correct me, that you are allowed to have more than one wife. And how is the process? The process is like when a man wants to marry another woman apart from the first wife which the man has married. They always go and ask the wife to say, I want to bring in the second wife. And then the second wife would say, it's okay, you can bring in the second wife. And then the second wife, together with the family, they go and take what is called dowry in Salam. And the Shin Salamu, they will go to the family of the woman which the man wants to bring in as a second wife. And when they say yes, I don't know what the rituals are out there. I'm sure the Tongas out there and the Easterners out there, my lovely husbands, they'll be able to tell me how the ceremony goes. And then they're off and they'll take up the second wife, and the chain continues and continues. But the problem, is, I'm not going to say the problem is, because what I see as a problem might not be seen as a problem. Is it? Are you in the law frame? That is the question. Or are you in the traditional frame? Is it right or is it wrong to have a multiple wives? My colleague is back. Probably over to you, Lance, if you want to continue.
All right, so thank you so much for that explanation right there, talking about the Tonga practice of polygamy, what the process is like, and of course what they are supposed to do, and also moving forward from that. But also we can get to talk about the same the first wife, yes, has to give consent to being to get another wife from the other corner. But I think many questions may arise from there to say, what makes a man decide to get into a polygamous marriage? And if a man gets into this polygamous marriage, what is involved there? What is the man supposed to do? What is he supposed to have if this marriage was to be successful? Of course, these are a few questions that are supposed to be asked, and which we would love at least quite a number of you, our viewers out there, to come through and also show us or tell us how we can be able to answer these questions, and then get to talk about it. So I don't know, Gladys, but most of the times it's I think I would take the issue of why should a man get into a polygamous marriage. We would say it's for the social status in the society, because there will be an issue to say, hey, if this man can afford to have two, three, four, five wives, then it means he is a big boy. You know, Ajaran Bakulu, the major Tonga bull. That's what they are. I don't know what you think is the reason why many people, many men would love to get into a polygamous marriage.
I would probably argue with you there. I think just to accommodate everybody, I'm going to argue muchibemba that umutenge baukumbirwa. What do you say? Inganda baikumbirwa umutenge, because you don't know what is in there. Like you are saying that Nganao party babidi nangu batatu, probably they'll say that's a big boy, but you don't know what is inside there. I would say, for one, in my own opinion, I would say that today we should make it can be legalized, but are we preserving our cultures and tradition? Let the tribes which have their cultures and tradition keep the traditions as it is. And when we try to legalize polygamy, it's like we are destroying completely our culture. And looking at, okay, probably they're being taken care of. This is when tulesanga ti abantu baleyipayana, tulesanga ti abantu balekwata ma mental problems, because as a woman, as we are created with an element of jealousy. We are created to be appreciated as one person. We are appreciated in most of the tribes, and most of the tribes, besides those tribes which are just which are adapted to be a multiple marriages. We want to be self-centered. We are egoistic naturally. So we want to be the only woman in the marriage. My opinion again. Please kindly share with us with your opinions and educate us, and let's educate each other. Over to you, Alance.
All right. So, of course, that is a great analysis of that thing. Many a times, or it has been recognized that yes, mostly polygamy is practiced by the Tongas or the Tonga tribe, but it is mostly practiced by either the chief, the headman, and also the traditional top leaders, because these are the people that can be able to take care of these women, or these are the people that can be able to take care of the larger family, because it's also all about the financial support, the financial muscle that you have. If getting into a polygamous marriage is something that you want, are you able to sustain your 2 or 3 wives? Are you able to sustain the children that are coming in, or that you are giving birth to? Because these children, it's not only all about eating, but it's also all about taking them to school and having proper care being given to them. So mostly Tongas, those are the people that get to come through, or that get to practice that thing. So, but for now, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we get to bring in our guest this particular evening.
Welcome back again. Yes, I'll just take it up from where my colleague left, and I can see that we have Nyasengo. Nyasengo can kindly just share the views. We are talking about polygamy. Is it a good idea that polygamy must be legalized, and what criteria would qualify men and women to have multiple relationships? Nyasengo, maybe you can share with us and kindly tell us which tribe you come from and how do you do it? Do you have polygamy in your tribe? Kindly share with us. It seems Nyasengo is muted. Nyasengo, can you kindly unmute yourself so that you can share with us, please?
I don't know. Good. Hello. How are you doing? This
Fine.
is Nyasengo. Of course, I hope you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Fantastic. I come from a Lunda tribe in Northwestern Province where, you know, it's not, I don't know how I can say it. People get married to as many wives as they want. And it's not as bad as Southern Province. Well, I'm not saying bad in a bad way, but as a woman, I don't know whether I would say I would like to be in a polygamy marriage, or, you know, whether I would like to support that as well. But my views would be, if they want to legalize it, sure, why not? You know, if the Tongas and the Lozis, those who are in polygamy relationships, are happy to go ahead and have that, sure, why not? It's a free world. Otherwise, me personally, I wouldn't really be for the idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Nyasengu, and yeah, welcome back, Lancy.
All right, so thank you, and of course, thank you, Nyasengu, for that contribution that you have given us. Remember, if you are watching us from Facebook, you can also get to comment in the comment box, and we'll be glad to read your comment right here and get your idea if polygamy should be legalized or not. And then also, if you are watching us from YouTube, you can also still do the same and send us that particular message, comment, and we'll be able to read it out. William, good to know that you are watching. And Carl J, good evening, Ubuntu family. Good to see you, Gladys and Lance. Well, it's good to know that you are also tuned in. We are glad that you are a part of us, and would love to hear also your thought about our topic of discussion. Remember, we are discussing polygamy. Should it be legalized? Should it be made official that a man can be able to marry 3 wives, and what should be the conditions set if one has to enter themselves into a polygamous marriage? And of course, we continue getting comments from you. All right, we continue getting comments from you so that we can be able to know that all of us are a part of this. Remember that Ubuntu is all about you and me. Where there is you, there is me. If you are not there, then I also am not there. This is what we are all about. And hey, Gladys, I know we had a background chat about this as we await to engage our lovely viewers out there. Would you be happy to be a part of the polygamous marriage?
A big no. Just like I told you, Lance, that I fall on the Civic Center Marriage Act, where you have one woman and one man. But again, it depends where you're coming from. And even though polygamy they want to legalize polygamy, it's just a matter of time. And also, it's also a matter of preserving the cultures. Where I come from, in Endimwaush, we, even though it's not direct, that twalikwata impali. Impali, as how we do it in my tribe, we have what is called impokeleshi. Impokeleshi is like, for example, if me as an elder sister in the family with my husband would say that just in case if I die or if I get older, my husband can marry, or probably they will even start going dating. I don't know if I can even say dating. Bakulaenda no mwa iche wandi unkonkelepo nangu wa kulasti kasuli ati empokeleshi. In that sense, it's more or less like also nimpali na shena. It's just that it's not defined as impali, but they call it at nimpokeleshi. I know somebody out there will be able to argue that you're tempali, even though in our orientation, our men have more than one wife. Atama side chicks. They have impali. It's just a matter of time of saying, okay, now isentupange nomba ni pwando. Natuchibondole fe nomba tuchibike fe pabwelu. I don't know if you understand my language, Lance. Over to you before I keep on and on and on.
Definitely, I understand your language, and I would have loved to hear talk, that deep bemba of ki kya kya, because ushi, that's what defines ushi from these other bembas, because they have that typical time of ki and kya. So I was expecting that, but anyway, we get to move further, or we get to move on as we are still discussing polygamy and would love you to be a part of the show. Now, Gladys, I don't know if you have seen, heard, or know that there are actually three types of marriages. We have monogamy, which is obviously the normal one of one wife and one husband. Then we have polygamy, obviously, which is a man getting more than two spouses. And we have polyandry. Now, this practice is very rare and mostly practiced in China, because this is where you see a woman sitting down and say, I think apa nanendefaako omunene, so that tubeko at least mubeko babiri bantu imwe mwekafeta mulekwanisha. So that's what polyandry is. So these are the three types of marriages that we have. But this particular evening, we are obviously concentrating on polygamy, because this is a wide issue that is there. But hey, let's get to talk to our next guest. This is Ribat Muyava. Of course, let's get to hear what he has to say about polygamy, what he thinks it is, and everything. Hi, Ribat. Ribat, are you there?
Is muted.
Okay, Ribat, kindly unmute your mic. Okay, as we are waiting for Ribat to unmute his mic, obviously, let's get to discuss the possibility. Yes, it's not part of our discussion, Gladys, but the possibility of having a woman bold enough to tell the husband that I want us to get another husband. Can that happen? It's normal for a man to tell a woman, but is it normal for a woman to tell a man?
You know, today we are always fighting for gender equality. I mean, if men should be brought on board to say that they want another wife, which I feel it's all about, it's ego, self-centered. I mean, if it can be on the man's side, why shouldn't it be on the woman's side? Because we are humans, we have feelings. Why should it not? Why should it be if polygamy has to be legalized, even though in actual context, polygamy has always been there, regardless of which tribe you come from. I confidently say that even a woman should have the right to say that if a man can say that ndefokule ndeteko amai nini kash na ine nishnalanda tinaite nimulete amai nini na ine ndilanda kwa timulete kwa atate nini nishiyachinja kanshi, because I mean we have to find a balance. We have to find a balance. And you talked before, you talk about the economical aspect that the polygamy, many are interested because there is money involved. That person is wealthy. Today, there are even men and women who are wealthy, who are able probably to take care of men, not just one, maybe two or three or whatever they decide. So, I mean, if they say that, okay, this is how it is going to be, then women should also have a piece of that cake to say, but the question is, are we still preserving our culture and traditions? Is it for the men only, or is it also for the women?
Well, champamba sana umwana kashukulanda ati mulete kwa banene. That's just the norm. But anyway, let's also maybe get to bring the debate to the religious sector, or we get biblical. I know most of the times people always run to say, no, God allowed polygamy in the Bible, and they cite so many examples. And fortunately or unfortunately, Solomon is always the example that pops up, because he was rich and everything. Then Obviously, Abraham also comes through. Then here comes me that comes with my own argument to say God did not allow polygamy because when you read should be Hebrews or the letters that Peter wrote in the Bible, and one of the qualifications for one to be a leader in the church, you have to be of one wife. I don't know how you look at that.
Like you cited in the Bible, it says, I don't know which verse exactly in the Ephesians, you talked about Solomon. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. And those 300 concubines today, who's going to manage? Who's got the capacity of even just having 10 women? Who's got the capacity? You can only satisfy, you can only love one person equally. You cannot love more than one person equally. It's difficult just to divide that kind of love. So when there is polygamy, when there is multiple marriages, it's very difficult. There will be a lot of killings. There will be a lot of mental problems. There will be poverty in the family, regardless whether you're saying that, whether there is like, okay, this one is rich. You won't divide the same love the way you can, the way you loved your first wife when you said, I do. It's going to be difficult to love the same way you love the first wife and the same way you are loving the second, third, or and so on. So even though, as it is written in the Bible that that Solomon who had the 700 wives, whatever happened in the Bible, whatever little happened in the Bible, it is also happening on earth. There was promiscuity in the Bible. There is still promiscuity on earth. It is happening, but we're just about to unfold it to say this is what happens. And then it looks like a taboo. Sometimes what looks like a sin is not a sin to another person. So it depends on which context. Of course, if you are hiding away, then really it's a sin, because today's young men and women, there's a lot of utumayanda otuunono utumayanda otuunono baleepita kumbali batwala n'ensalamu, not knowing even that woman will be able to know that the man who I am trying to get married to is got a wife, but they go behind because they don't have the guts, or probably their tribe doesn't allow to have more than one wife, and they go besides and no, but due to poverty anywhere in the world, just because bakushtireko ka Pamela nangu ka Safu ati awe twalawe bafye kula kwine nangu nimpali, for me just to have something to put on the table twalawe bako fye fufine nimpali. Even in the Bible it was there ati abaume umwaume umwakalawo pa abana kashi nangu abali 7. It's there. So I don't know what you think. Lance.
All right, so we have a comment coming through on our YouTube. This is Karajesh. The comment is like, men has to be careful with their money. Mostly second wives are destroyers. They leave after a man is broke. Whoa, quite a comment right there, and we really value your comment. We are so glad that you are a part of the show. Please invite your friends to also come through and share with us their comments, their views, and their thought as well on our topic of discussion, which is polygamy. So this evening we are talking about polygamy. Is it all right for a man to get into a polygamous marriage? And what qualifies a man to get polygamous, and what kind of effect does it have, or what kind of an impact does it have to the first wife when a man goes to his wife and say, I want to I want to get another wife. But hey, wise man, we have wise man who also is with us, and we'd love to make a comment on our topic of discussion. Wise man, we can have you. Hi, how are you?
So let me just yeah, thank you. Good evening, Gladys, and good evening, my comrade.
Good
I
evening.
think let me just thank you. Let me just say to where there's good network. I think where I am is breaking, so I will contribute once I found a good network. But I'm trying to settle. Network here in Zambia is not very good.
Yeah, that's okay,
Okay,
wise man.
definitely. All right. So also remember we are live on our Facebook page. We are live on our YouTube channel. Simply search for Ubuntu channel, and definitely you will find us there. And write in the comment box what you think about polygamy. Should it be legalized? Is it a good thing to for a man to get polygamous? And also what kind of pressure or torment does it come with to a woman? All right, so Carl is watching from Scandinavia, Denmark. All right, so what kind of impact will it have to the woman when a man walks up to them to say, "I want to get a second wife"? Now, Gladys, there are so many reasons that a man would walk up to his first wife to say he would love to get a second wife. Of course, the first one maybe will be infidelity. The second one will be problems because it seems like they no longer understand one another after staying with each other in marriage for a long time. Then, thirdly, the man will just feel like he has had too much of the woman. Maybe she nags a lot, and he just wants to get off that pressure and get the new one who will be there to at least pamper him, show some love, and all these other things. Do you think these are genuine reasons for a man to get another woman?
Apparently, Lance, the topic itself, polygamy, as simple as it sounds, it's actually it's actually very wide, and it can be interpreted in different ways. And whichever way, there's no way which is wrong, and there's no way which is right. And we say in Muchibemba, I love just my language to say, amafi, abana kashi, mafi ampombo, nangwa abana kashi, maluba, tabapuokuama. So, like you said, that it could be sometimes love just wears off completely. Love just wears off. And as human as we are, it's very difficult for us to reach out to our partner to say, how do we pump up our relationship so that we get back to the some normal way in order to avoid the man or the wife to bring in another woman or another man. How do we make our relationship blossom? It's very difficult in our own African context. And it could also be that envy, like I said, abanakashi mafia mpombo or abanakashi maluba. Envy, flowers, you find them everywhere. You start amenso, menso. You start looking, say, okay, instead of you appreciating your wife the way is the very first day you saw that wife, how you saw that she was the only woman, the only beautiful woman in the world. After 5-10 years, she's not the same woman you look at. You start looking, your mindset diverts. That also starts it starts also inviting some kind of promiscuity, and it also starts having another thought of maybe that woman could be better. It could be better than the wife I have, but you don't know, like we said, but you don't know what is inside. And if it's for the men out there who've got utundalama, utusaka tuandalama, it even becomes easy. Just you feel like you can just get anyone. You take advantage of your pockets, your heavy pockets. It's not only in the cities, it's also in the villages. I've seen it. I come from Mansa. I've seen it in the real villages whereby batata baali kwatama kabaali pompa kwati bentu baya kujimu naka ka superman kana pama pair just because baali lima. Attraction from the women, they start getting attracted because balabatata he's got wealthy, and what wealthy is not just about money. The wealthy is about mumaka mule mwine mukutema balalima bakale balimi na kofi nabo bakabeko ni bachite. Meanwhile, the woman knows that this man is married to somebody else. So it's just not even actually about the woman, or I mean about the man only. It goes both ways. So it's a very wide topic. We can keep on talking over and over, but I would really love if somebody out there, the chewas, my husband chewas, can come out here and challenge me that you can bring in another man in our relationship. Please join us and challenge me. The chewas out there, the Easterners out there, come and join me and tell me that you're gonna bring out another wife in our relationship, and I'll challenge you too. Over to you, Lance.
Well, all right. So Mubanga Nasieku is commenting through or watching through our Facebook and has commented as follows: is there anything good about polygamy, and who decided that we should marry only one woman? Were our forefathers only marrying one woman? Is one woman Africa culture or Western culture? Tobias Mubanga Tale. All right, so Tobias, thank you so much for that question, for coming through as well. Good to know that you are watching, and we are so happy. All right, so we have Josephine. Josephine, hi, good evening. Thank you for joining. You can share with us your ideas or your comments about polygamy. Okay, so if you can also kindly unmute so that we will be able to get to hear from you, your perspective, your view, your comment, and also just tell us if it is right for polygamy to be legalized. Now, Gladys, as we wait for Josephine to unmute, very important questions that Ramuranga has raised. Were our forefathers marrying one woman? Is this issue of marrying one woman only African? Is it African? Then also he asked what's good about polygamy. Obviously, maybe not to seem like a know-it-all or maybe know something. If you are out there and you have answers or you have your own perspective or view over the questions that Mamuranga has asked, you can also come through and answer those questions. But best to my knowledge, I think the issue to do with okay, all right, something came up and I was trying to read the message coming through from YouTube. But anyway, according to I think what I think, I don't think it's only African for a man to marry one woman. I think this is world over. It depends with what you believe in. It depends with your beliefs, and like I will continue saying, I know I am somehow differing with Gladys, but it depends with your capabilities, your wealth. Okay, how heavy is your pocket? Because getting three wives is not only about boasting to say, oh, I have three wives, and you are able to show them around here and there to your friends or to everybody out there, but it's also about the products that will come out from these three wives. Of course, we are talking about children. Okay, so because the first woman has got three kids, the second one would want to beat the first wife and say, hey, me, I want 4 or 5. The third will come, hey, me. So because they want to impress you, Marapanga football team, if not football team, at least now team here rugby. And how do you feed that rugby team? That's what matters. All right, so Carol, is it Carol? I don't know if I'm reading right. Comes back and says, speaking from my own experience, most men get into polygamy ngabakwata utupia. They forget all about the first wife and the suffering he went through before he got rich. Well, very true as well. Very true as well. But let's get to hear from more people. Let's get to hear from more people. And Nyachisungu is back. Okay. Gladys, is she back?
And Nyachisengo, can you kindly unmute yourself? And if you have a comment, please go ahead.
Yeah, I do actually have a comment. I think it would be great for us to bring somebody who is in a polygamist marriage, woman or man, to hear their views, because it's all very well us saying what we're saying, but how do they feel being in that marriage? I find it very hard to speak for them. I feel, it'd be nice to bring in a lived experience, somebody who's living that experience, somebody who's, in that marriage, and probably first or last wife. How do they feel? How have they been treated? Because in polygamy, there's a lot that goes on. A man, they have to sit down and divide days when the man can go and, for instance, have sex with that person, and when they should, when that would happen, for instance. We're not going to beat about the bush. These are people have fights over this. So, if this man is going to be married to 12 wives, how many days are in a year? Is he going to have sex with 2 women in a day? Do you know where I'm coming from? People, how many bedrooms does the house? All those things have to be put into consideration. Let's not beat about the bush. Let's bring them out. Let's talk about them. They're real. They're issues that have made marriages actually break. Sex is some of the reasons why people have gone out to go and marry many wives. And sometimes it is there's a situation in that marriage that maybe somebody is not having as many children as the man wanted. Do you know where I'm coming from? Okay, we have to go out and find another woman that's going to bring me more kids, and all that kind of stuff. Those are my comments. I don't know. But anyway.
Thank you so much, Nyachisengo. Your comment is definitely valued, and that's why we are here, so that we can share our views, and hopefully we can have somebody who's in it, who's in the game of polygamy and who's experiencing it, so that we hear from them, the horse's mouth. And also, I'll go back again to Mubanga Nasi Eku. On his comment where he said, is there anything good about polygamy? I, for one, I would definitely say no, there's nothing good about it. Definitely, the only good thing about it is the man, because normally it's the man who's in it. Is the one who's feeling good, that is and the pride of it, that has got all these women around. But is the woman feeling good about it? Definitely no. I'll speak out on behalf of the other women out there, even though that they would accept, because they have no choice. They'll accept. They've lived with this man for so many years, and then suddenly this man wants to bring in another woman. But they would accept, because has our belief, has our cultural belief that you don't want to move away from your husband because you've got children together. And when two horses are fighting, or when 2 bulls are fighting, it's also the grass which suffers, and that's the children. So they'll just say, okay, this is how it is, and they'll abide by whatever has been suggested. So there's nothing good about it but selfishness and ego. And he also went to say that who decides that we should marry only one woman? Well, as much as they say that it's the first wife, in some tribes who decides that it's the first wife who accepts, and they have agreed that my nini na isam. It goes back to the same thing. It's the man who decides that we getting a my nini because of the selfishness. That's my own opinion, and our forefathers as well. Even though it looks like it's today when the polygamy is becoming more and more, even the people in the old days, this has been there a long, long time. There has been children, there has been children which has been from within the family, at keep it in the family. There's been children polygamy, but balefisa just because it's not in the context of the of that tribe. But it's there as a polygamy. But the other family members, they know atibashi banyabaimba babikapona maloba. So it is there. Our forefathers used to experience it. They've been children over and over, but nothing has been said. Meanwhile, the father even knows that. Over to you, Lance.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, we have Laura. Laura, probably you can unmute yourself and kindly tell us which tribe you are coming from, so that you can share. You can share your views concerning polygamy. It seems Laura is not available, or rather, she's a. Yes, I can see that we have Mukelebai. Mukelebai, kindly share your views. This is Ubuntu Channels and Tulipansa Kava Mukelebai, and we are just educating each other and would like to hear from you. Kindly share your views and tell us which tribe you're coming from, and is polygamy legal from your tribe? Over to you, Bamkelebai.
Oh, amazing. It's good to be live on the Ubuntu program. Thank you so much, Gladys.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm actually streaming. I'm streaming from Southern Province. I'm sorry, from Southern Province in Livingston, at a place called Maramba River Lodge. It's beautiful. And with regards to what you just said, it is important. I'm from Western Province. Do we believe, or do we practice polygamy in Western Province? Yes, we do, because it's part of also a tradition. And I understand it used to be practiced a long time ago from our forefathers, but I don't know if today, with the economy, the hardship, I think, in my opinion, we need to evolve with time. We don't want to take advantage of our women that are able to provide for themselves, and then we bring them and say, look, you are now going to be in a polygamous marriage, as though they can't protect themselves or take care of themselves or their needs. So it is imperative that women are given that right, and to decide what to do, who to get married to, not be forced to go into a polygamous marriage. So that's probably that's my position for now. And I feel like we should actually do away with polygamous, but that's our custom as African or as Zambian. It is embedded in our DNA that our forefathers used to marry more than one wife. And today, in our society, there has been a lot of changes. People have to evolve. We have to evolve with time. So let's not feel as though we are ignoring our customs, but we just need to progress with time. We move with time and change our mindset. That's my take for now.
Thank
my
you
apologies
so much.
with the noise in the background.
Now, thank you so much, Kelevai. I hope you're enjoying your holiday out there. And I would like also to invite Mwewa to kindly just share his or her views, because I know Mwewa can be a woman or a man's name. Kindly, Mwewa, welcome to the program, and tell us which tribe you come from, and then and how is polygamy legalized from the tribe where you're coming from.
Thank you so much. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Nsaka in Nsaka, in Mufulira, Zambia. Are you getting me there?
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, you can please go ahead. You can go ahead, Mwewa, please.
Yes. Where I come from in Mansa, as a Wush by tribe, I think those are not allowed in our culture. Just like Mr. Mukeleba was saying, we are ignoring our culture, which our forefathers left for us. Equally, in my tribe, that is not allowed. What is allowed is just, is it monogamy? Just one wife, one husband. I think that's my take. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Vamwewa. Thank you so much. And I would like also to be remaining with 9 minutes, and hopefully we can have maybe a few guests who can just come and tell us about polygamy and which tribe they are coming from. Himba Malambo, kindly just come on board and tell us which tribe you're coming from, and tell us if polygamy is legalized. Over to you, Himba.
I'm Tonga. Everyone can get me from my name. And if we're Impali, it's our culture. So for me, that's our tradition. And probably I would encourage people to respect it and maybe pass it from one generation to another. But in Gatwaisa that is it legalized? Traditionally, yes. By the Zambian law, I don't know. But I'm going to speak on behalf of the Tongas.
In Tonga.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
If okumwetsugire okonfuma kondi hila mebo. Marrying more than one wife, it's normal. But there's fuilo kumfwana. The first wife should authorize it. I want to marry another wife. And why the Tongas could marry 2 wives or more than one, it was because of our way of living. You know, we Tongas, we are hardworking. So initially, it was actually the husband feeling pity for the wife and saying, let me bring a helper to support my guru. But then for me, I take it, they used to agree. There was an agreement. And then all the women, they'll be treated equally. And the children would also be looked after the same. But in the past, our parents could afford. And they even knew how to manage this impali. In nowadays, men are taking advantage of the situation. But if you're going to ask me on an individual level, for me, dating for Yokuba number 2. Sorry. Why should I be B when there is A? You know? And in Enka, you know, there are a lot of things you have to look at. By somebody bringing in a second wife, you are literally saying, I'm going to divide my love. Nganachila pela 50%, 100% to this first wife, so nkala pela 50-50. Nina nunga fwaya tuwampeleko 50-50. Ero chile chintu tabakana, kanikamuli weka chile, chila leterera, chaba nefintu ifingi. You know, so ngabalela ndati wope mpali, mfida na tontonka nyapo, mfida tuwa mfwana, wina toke, dila tuwalela la pa bed 7 days. Pamo, nombank mukalaisako 2 days, or mukalaisako 3 days. Is it something I'm going to accept? And now, and again, on the other hand, many nowadays, they are even marrying behind the first wife, behind umoteshibe aya upa. So for me, I think it's our culture. I appreciate it. I respect it. And for those who want to practice I have no issues. But for me, no, I wouldn't want to be part of it. I wouldn't want to be part of it. And because they are becoming selfish. And even abaana, I don't want to be B when there's A. Nga ende shila banani. Era nshilefo kwakana kali akantugire nakana nikamjaweka kali akakubeti handi wabana.
Thank you so much, Himba. I would just like to pick up some few comments from our viewers. I can see that there's Tandy. Before I pick up the comments from our viewers, Tandy, can you kindly tell us which tribe you are coming from and how is it with the polygamy situation from your tribe? Can you kindly unmute yourself, Tandy? Well, as I wait for Tandy to unmute herself, I'm just going to read one or two comments from our viewers. I have Kapekele Kundalinda. She says, I'm Ushi Obemba, and it's rare. As my mother said, Kwesu Tabapalika. Uyumwa Ushi Munandi, I could see that. And just as I commented previously to say that even Fueva Ushi, we don't have Impali, but we have we have what we call impokeleshi, which I personally I feel that even if it's not directly like at an impali, nashena impali at nimpokeleshi basenda komwa ichemulupwat, keep it in the family. And I'm going to read another comment from Bamubanga. Nasieku Bamubanga says that the Quran allows Muslims to marry more than one wife, and Muslim practice polygamy. In Christianity, it is not allowed, but sometimes Christian men have more than one woman. Sorry. I definitely agree with Bamubanga in the sense that, sorry, Bashima people out there, not to pick on you, I'm just generalizing, and Munjeleleko, there's a lot of hypocrisy out there for them. For people who call themselves men of God, in the name of calling themselves name of God, they will have what is called tutuma side chicks, and they call themselves as men of God. Nanguniba akwaya muri tu kwaya mulyamuine fyakosa. Basuka beafyala monabana. That's also I'll call it indirectly that is also polygamy. Probably they've been doing that for so many years. So those things are still happening. And if I can have maybe at least one person who wants to comment, Tandy, if you're still there, kindly unmute yourself and then you can give us your view before we close in the next 2 minutes. Tandy, if you were there, Tandy, you can kindly give us. You can unmute yourself and comment. Otherwise, we have only a minute plus. We have only a minute plus.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. You know, most of these men of God actually get the people who are in the choir. I've actually experienced that. And you know, it was such a bad experience in that this man impregnated 2 people from the choir. So actually it's happening in that way. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Tandy. So do you which tribe are you coming from, Tandy? Okay, I think Tandy is already gone. I'd like to thank you our viewers from wherever you are watching us from, and I hope we can bring the polygamy topic. It seems like it's very wide and very interesting, and we really look forward to look for their people or that couple who's already in it, so that they can come and share the views of what they are experiencing, how they're dividing their love between their spouses, whether men and women, and what do they think? Is this something they wished for, or is this something which was imposed by their husband or by their wives? Because today, even women can have multiple men. So this is what we'd like to hear from somebody who's out there. Kindly write to us or contact us, and you can remember that you can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Twitter, you can find us on LinkedIn, and also on Facebook. And hopefully we're going to come with Polygamist Part 2. Thank you for watching this program. This is Gladys Tom, your presenter from Denmark, a typical Zambian Umwaoshi. This is Oyo Ubuntu channel. Thank you so much.